Yes, this is the border. Right here is where you pass from the United States of America into Mexico. Or where you go into Mexico at San Luis, Arizona, and come back into... No, you cross the border from San Luis, Arizona into Mexico, or come back from Mexico and pass into the United States. I've been in this park. This is Friendship Park, by the way. Years ago, when I was in an organization, when I was superintendent at Somerton, back there in the 76 to 82 time period, Encounters Today, I can't say it right, Encounters Today, where we were trying to work on the relationship between the two countries and between the Mexican-American population in this Arizona side and the rest of the people who were on the Arizona side. This is a good organization. We did some good. And at one time, we had a special party down here in this Friendship Park. The Golden Knights came in and parachuted into this little park. Jones Osborne, a very fine politician, a newsman, was here. We just did as much as we could to try to make things better. That was before this fence was like this. In those days, there's no question, there were holes, little tunnels underneath the fence that was here, and there had been some real problems with vandalism here in this park, even sometimes intimidation, and some, I guess you'd call gangs of kids from the other side would make little sallies into this area of the United States and probably stole a few things. You know, if you're poor enough, you're liable to steal. I think about anybody will, if they're poor enough and hungry enough. But as it is now, you look out across there, and there's people coming back across from the United States into Mexico. Looks like some of them have been pretty good shoppers. Sometimes in the evening you sit here and you see a whole string of people coming back, and several of them will have with them bags. Evidently the fields that they work in, the management says, yeah, you can take some of the stuff that didn't meet the standard to go into the packing cases home with you. Welcome to it. Well, it just slays me how much ignorance and how much deliberate creation of an attitude of they're all criminals. If they cross this border and they're not legal, they're criminals. Kind of amused. One of my very favorite people in YUMA that works in the Parks and Recreation Department said, and they say that those jobs that the Mexicans fill, that nobody wants them. I'll have you know that back when I was a kid, those summer jobs in the melon fields, that was our spending money. And we were glad to work. I'm sure that's true. I'm sure the other thing she didn't figure out is that maybe the workers that came across were as good or better than the high school kids and the other college kids and so on that were willing to work, and more dependable. And that the owners of the farms preferred those Mexicans to come across and work. Don't know, just have a suspicion. And I do know that a lot of the hard work that's now done with hoes and with bending over and picking up and so on, if they can get rid of all the illegals, you will just hear a lot of what we heard last year when there was a crackdown and the growers said, hey, we've got to have those people. Our crops are spoiling in the field, and we feed America in the winter with fresh veggies. Yeah, Oh, and there's a little rhubarb going on in the state of Arizona now. Got a law passed that you hire illegals knowingly, you're going to get a real penalty. Well, you know, from my point of view, that's just fine. If we're serious about all this thing of closing the border, simple, simple, simple. The only reason people cross the border is for opportunity, the opportunity to work, the opportunity to earn, the opportunity to have a better life. If the jobs are closed off, if the people that are getting rich hiring those poor guys can't do it anymore, this border, as far as illegal crossing, would close within weeks, certainly not more than a few months. There wouldn't be any more illegal immigration. They come because we want them. They help us get rich if we're the rich who are getting richer. And somehow, we've had so much said that there are a lot of people across America that actually believe these people are criminals. They're following the American ideal that if you can better yourself, pull up your bootstraps and better yourself. I'm sure that most of America missed the point that was made not too many months ago in the press, that a lot of the females that now immigrate have to accept being raped as part of their price of admission to our country. And I'm not saying they're being raped by American citizens. They're probably being raped by these scheming, no-account leaders that recruit them and charge them money to lead them in. I think they call them coyotes. Well, they're not as decent as the wild coyotes if they're actually doing that to the females that they lead into this country. But imagine being willing to risk your life in the deserts of Arizona, risk your virginity or sanctity in your marriage, etc., etc. They pay a heck of a price to come over to our land of opportunity. And for them, we are truly still the land of opportunity. Think about it, folks. Think about it. And to think that John McCain is bad-mouth, by Hateball Limbaugh, Rush Limbaugh, and by our own local radio people because he has a sane and sensible understanding of the immigration problem that doesn't match the haters. Aren't we something?